Hey everybody, this is Cathy Naiser and today is day 15. We're talking about the 80-20 principle. Hi everybody, I'm Cathy Naiser with the Naiser Real Estate Group here at Keller Williams Realty CityView in San Antonio. Welcome again to our KW Model 66-Day Challenge. Thoughts and questions. Today is day 15 and we're talking about the 80-20 principle. So in the One Thing book by Gary Keller, he says that there are 6 lies between you and success. Lie number 1 is that everything matters equally. So understanding this will help you make great decisions. We all have a lot to do. How do you decide what to do? What are all the things you need to do right now? You have to make calls, you have to check with teammates, you have to check on the kids, you have to pick up the kids, you have to deliver HOA docs, you have to do whatever. You have to go get groceries. We're often overbooked, overextended, and overcommitted. We're overwhelmed. Now, achievers, though, always work from a clear sense of priority. So let's talk about the 80-20 rule, and I'm going to read you some from the One Thing. So on page 36, he says, in the 19th century, Pareto, who written a mathematical model for income distribution in Italy that stated that 80% of the land was owned by 20% of the people. Wealth was not evenly distributed. In fact, according to Pareto, it was actually concentrated in a highly predictable way. A pioneer of quality control management at General Motors in the 30s, Jurin, had noticed that a handful of flaws usually produce a majority of the defects. This imbalance not only rang true in his experience, but he suspected it might even be a universal law, that what Pareto had observed might be bigger than even Pareto had imagined. So the 80-20 principle asserts that a majority of causes, inputs, or effort usually, The 80-20 principle asserts that a minority of causes, inputs, and effort usually lead to a majority of results, outputs, and rewards. In other words, in the world of success, things aren't equal. A small amount causes create the most results. Just the right input creates the most output. So 20% of your activities actually produce 80% of the results. So what are the things you do that bring the greatest results in your business? What are the 20% things? Because not everything you do in your business is bringing all those results. A few things, out of the many things that you do, a few things bring the results, or the most of the results. Chances are that delivering HOA docs is not one of these things. It's something that has to be done, right? So how else can you do those? Or who else can do them? Or can you have somebody email them? So what things are you busy with right now? What are all these things that you have to do? And what can help you, or what system can you follow to stay focused on the most important 20%? It's a strategy to focus on the 20%. So you need a strategy to think, well, okay, what are all the things I need to do? Now, what are the most important ones that I need to do? So an example for me was, I wasn't actually making calls and reaching out to clients. I had a bunch of activities in my command, tasks, that were plugging it up. Like I had 150 tasks I had to do in a day. And they weren't all reaching out necessarily to people. They might be adding a plan or checking this or whatever. And so I had several people on my team to do some of those that are not the highly productive ones. And it cleared out the contacts, and then I focused really hard on one day and just getting through all the productive ones that I needed to do, so that then I could start my other strategy and just have a few tasks every day. So every day my team goes in and they do some of the ones that I don't need to do. I do the few that I need to do, and then I go call my database for the rest of the time and the other things that are in my strategy. So what are the 20% things? What are all the things you need to do? And what are the 20% things that are really going to bring results right now, when results matter? Results matter. Results matter for now, and they matter for 60 days from now. So are you spending time, and what time are you spending to actually plan and think through those activities? What are going to be the strategies in this next 60 days? Because there has to be a little bit of time allotted to actually think that through. So what are the strategies going to be, and then what are the 20% part of that you need to do? So he goes further and talks about extreme Pareto, and I'm going to take you over here. So basically, to take this to the extreme, then you think of all the things you need to do. Maybe there are 25. So what's the top 20%? Okay. So maybe that puts 5 there. Okay. These are all the things, the 20% things I need to do are 5. Now, of those 5, what's the most important 20%? What's that one? So if you're thinking about your strategies, don't let yourself get away with doing the whole 25. They're not all the most important. See if you can dwindle it down to 20% more. It may have been a 100 list, right? That you shrunk down to 25 as yours. And then you said, okay, of these, what are the 5? And then of the last one, what's the one that by doing it, all of these others will be easier and necessary? What's that one? That's extreme Pareto. So achievers know that now all things are not equal. That's a lie. All things are not equal. Some are more important to others. Are you clear about your 20% right now? Are you clear about your total strategies right now? What are the 20% things in your relationships? Waking up, kissing your husband or wife may be a 20% activity. We need to stay connected. Taking a few minutes over coffee, maybe that's a powerful 20% thing for you to plan your day together. What are the 20% things that yield the most benefit in your relationships? And what are the 20% things that yield the most benefit in your physical health? It might be just going outside now and then. Maybe it's exercising. Maybe it's watching what you eat. There's a whole bunch of things you can do for your physical health. What's the 20%? And then what's the one? What's the one that's the most important? So take it to extreme Pareto. What's the one thing in your business right now such that by doing it, everything else would become easier or unnecessary? Don't fall into the trap that all things matter equally. They do not. Really push yourself to get to the 20%. That's what being all in right now is in this shifted market. When you're pivoting, when we're having to pivot the way we do our business, doing things in a new way, getting real clear about the 20% activities will help you get there. This is day 15, Cathy Naiser. You have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.